Good morning, happy Sunday. Welcome inside our studio. I'm Rebecca Lowe, Tim Howard, Robbie Earle alongside me. Long day of Premier League action for you all the way until 4:30 Eastern, so buckle up. We've got plenty to bring you. We're going to start by talking about Palace against Leeds. And Tim, Patrick Vieira last season taking Palace to 12th, did a really good job, played some lovely football. I look at the table now, they're hovering above the bottom three on goal difference, having played 7 games and won just 1. The style that Patrick Vieira wants his team to play in, all-out attack pretty much. Is that going to lead to bumps in the road? Is that why we're seeing after 7 games they can be all the way down there?
Yeah, it's going to take time. Patrick Vieira had a good first season. Remember, there's a lot of players out of contract. He had to sign a lot of new players, get past the Roy Hodgson era, begin to put his own mark on the team. It's going to take a while. 1 season under his belt. This season's been tough. It's been a terribly tough start. They played Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Chelsea. I mean, it's been really, really difficult fixtures. The good news is they've gotten their noses in front in a lot of these games. The bad news is they have 10 drop points from winning positions, which is second worst in the league. And that's difficult. But it reminds me back to last season when I was looking at them and saying they have too many draws. Okay, that's a sign of a young team who's trying to mature. Building resiliency within a squad takes time. It takes these bumps in the road. As you said, they're incredibly resilient on Zaha. Again, that's good news. He will bear a lot of the scoring load, but he can't do it all himself, and he's had to for a long time. I look in the middle of the park. Decore, I like Decore. I think he's a good player. I still think they need more. They need to thicken it up. They need a ball-dominant midfielder. They had that last year in Conor Gallagher. Of course, he was on loan and went back, so that was a loss, but it still needs a little bit more in the middle. You
mentioned there losing games from winning positions, 10 points dropped. Going ahead in games, because they do play such an attacking style of football, that's kind of part of what you get when you go out to try and win a game, right?
Absolutely. And the numbers don't lie. 1 win all season back is not great. But let's look past the numbers. And, you know, Tim and I are not Palace fans. But if I was a Palace fan, I would be looking at Crystal Palace and thinking, the cautious days of football that we used to see under Roy Hodgson is very different from the football progressive, controlling the ball, controlling the game that we see with Patrick Vieira. And I would enjoy Patrick's football more. I would see Patrick's football more. Does the team need to mature? Yes. It's Patrick's second season in the Premier League as a manager. Does he have to mature? Yes. Better game management, better decisions, less individual problems. They were 2-0 up against Manchester City, Rebecca, remember. They led in 5 of the 7 games they've played this season. And if there's one thing I could point to for Crystal Palace that would help them, is to find a regular goal scorer at the top of the pitch. Edouard and Mateta are the 2 at the moment, 1 goal each. I would say if Crystal Palace could find a 10-goal a season, not talking 15 or 20, a 10-goal a season, regular goal scorer, it would benefit them so much because instead of being 1-0 up, you'd be 2-0 up and all of a sudden the game would be a little bit more secure.
And that's one of the hardest things to do in football is to find a 10-plus goal scorer. I mean, do we think Mateta, Odsonne Edouard, can they get to double figures?
I don't think so. I think that striker isn't at the club just yet, but they can ride that out. I mean, one of the things I want to touch on what Robbie said, you don't get everything at a football club right away, right? I would rather a team that plays like Crystal Palace does under Patrick Vieira and figure out they've dropped points from winning positions. I'm okay with that because eventually they're going to figure out a way to be resilient, to be tough. 2 banks of 4. We've already got the goal. Let's see this out. Turn some of these draws and losses into wins. I'm okay with that. That's why I think it's looking up for Crystal Palace.
When I look at Palace, Rebecca, I just feel like a few more points to go with the performances and you'll be absolutely fine.
So you don't think Palace fans should be worried that they're hovering above the bottom 3?
Right now, not for me, Rebecca. And I'm enjoying the football. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing about the football club.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.